years. And it's all because I get a good night's sleep with my MyPillow. Now, it's not the cheapest thing you're ever going to find, but guess what? Good health is worth everything. Try a MyPillow. If you don't like it, you can send it back in 60 days. And you've got a 10-year warranty. It's made in the USA. And Mike Lindell guarantees you're going to love your MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, use my promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175. Get a great deal on a MyPillow by using my promo code, and I guarantee you'll get a good night's sleep or you get your money back.
A new survey names what states are the best for black-owned businesses. And USA Radio Network's Chris Barnes has the findings.
FitSmallBusiness.com ranking states on the number of African-American-owned businesses they have, as well as corporate tax rates and what assets are offered to black entrepreneurs. Number 1 on the list of best states for black entrepreneurship is Georgia. Second on the list was Texas, followed by Florida, California, and North Carolina. It also says the number of businesses in America owned by black women grew by 322% since 1997. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
Defense Secretary Mark Esper is testifying before a House Armed Services Committee on the budget for the Pentagon. Speaking on Capitol Hill, Chairman Adam Smith says that the money that's being diverted for President Trump's border wall is, in his opinion, damaging to the Pentagon. And you're listening to USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines. 800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Republicans at the state and federal level are pushing for lower costs associated with regulations as a way to address the nation's affordable housing crisis. Now, Democrats have their other ways that they want to fix the housing crisis, and with them it means actually more regulations. Connor Doherty is a reporter with the New York Times. I had a chance to catch up with him, and one of the things we discussed was housing and how this will play a part in the 2020 election.
You are hearing people at the federal level talk about this problem increasingly, and I think that that has been really encouraging, even if I don't always love the tenor of the conversation. So just today or yesterday, the Trump Council of Economic Advisors put out a report saying that the lack of affordable housing is a huge impediment to economic growth for this country nationwide. So they're concerned about it. Now, they have some remedies that, in some sort of pure Trumpian fashion, sort of try to really stick it to liberal cities. But then go over to the Democratic primary, where every major candidate has put out a pretty extensive housing plan. As with a great many of the plans that we've heard people talk about in the debates, the chances of them really being enacted to law are quite low.
For more news, find us online at usaradio.com or check us out on Facebook at USA Radio. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Welcome to this evening's episode of Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush, and we are a production of America Matters Media, the home of quality conversation. You can check us out on the web at americamatters.us. That's americamatters.us. We are also on Facebook at facebook.com/Reno Rush Hour. That is my Twitter handle as well. You can follow me there, like me on Facebook, and we are also on YouTube. So I've got a Rush Hour Radio page channel there and on America Matters YouTube as well. So we are wherever you are. So we don't ask you to come to us. We will meet you where you're at. So check us out. And my special guests today are Nicole and Dave What's your last name?
Grimes.
Grimes, Nicole Grimes. I'm saying Nicole Manhattan because that's your Facebook presence. Nicole Grimes and Dave Murphy of Comstock Distillers.
hello.
Welcome
Hi.
to the set.
Hello.
Thank you.
And they are brand new best friends of mine. I met you guys last night at the Reno Rotary Mardi Gras, and what a party it was, as always.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. And it's anybody who knows me, you guys have known me for 7 years now on these airwaves, and I go every year. It's my favorite event of the year, and it's always wonderful. It's always put on just beautifully by the Rotary. This year, Eric Castillo did a lot of the marketing for it, did a great job. And say hi to DB Fennell as well. You do always a wonderful job. And it's just great. It's just I consider it the official kickoff to event season because anybody who knows Reno knows that we have just this massive events season that kicks off. Really, it's in the summer. It starts in late spring and runs through the summer. But this to me is the official, the unofficial big one that really gets people thinking and starting to go, yeah, it's coming. We're getting ready. We're gearing up. And God, it was 68 degrees today. So, it's coming.
And being the Mardi
Seasonal
Gras,
kickoff.
it was so cool seeing all the costumes. It was a good time.
It was so fun.
Yes. So this was your first experience with it.
It was.
And so let's tell everybody really who and what is behind Comstock Distillery, what the roots of it really are.
Well, the roots started with the Frankovich family, and this recipe was concocted right here in Reno by the Frankovich family in the mid-1800s. And it is a family tradition that they decided to share with all of Reno back in 2001, I believe. And we couldn't be more proud to be able to be a part of it. We're also a 6th-generation Nevada family, and we really believe in maintaining the tradition and the family experience behind this recipe and getting it out to the masses.
And you being the Grimes family.
Yes.
So the Grimes family and the Frankovich family have come together
Yes.
to start Comstock
Yes.
and are carrying on the tradition
yes.
of things like Manhattan, which is what?
Well, the Manhattan is a 6-year barrel-aged bourbon with sweet vermouth and a dash of bitters and maraschino cherries. This recipe it's consistent, and for Manhattan drinkers, they know consistency is key when it comes to a cocktail like that. But we also like to mix it into other beverages as well, just to kind of appeal to other age groups and such. We do a few different cocktails like the cream soda and the cherry grenadine as well with the Manhattan. It is unbelievably good.
Well, I'll tell you what. Anybody who knows me, of course, knows I'm not a brown liquor drinker. I've never been able to handle it. I have tried. My ex-husband was a major both whiskey and bourbon drinker, to the point where I even took a class to try and learn, and couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Now
Well, that's what you told me last night.
and I did.
I said just a little bit. You have to try a little bit.
I was friendlier to bourbons because they're a little bit sweeter and a little bit, less puckery. And that's what I do every time I drink brown liquor. I just, whiskey makes me do this. And I walked by the table, and next to them, the depot was next to you guys,
Right.
and they had this really good, and I don't like IPAs either, but they had a pineapple IPA, and I like fruit. I like fruity beers, and this was really good. And so I was sipping on that, chit-chatting with them, and I came upon this in this beautiful bottle. I mean, look at this. This is artwork. I mean, this is decoration. I would put this in my house on display just to have.
That's what a lot of people say.
People do that.
They want that
Yes.
bottle
This
just for their bar.
This is old school. We used to do this back in the day.
Well, this is made in Italy. It's a beautiful bottle. So
exquisite.
people will buy this, put it on their bar,
Yes.
and then buy the $7.50 to pour out of.
Yeah, I mean, this is when I was a kid, there were certain liquors that everybody had on their bar.
Right.
And in their bar. Galliano was one, big,
Yep.
tall,
Yes.
and the yellow.
You still see that now.
Well, family bars.
Frangelico.
You want an eye-catching bottle, a statement piece.
That's what this is.
Yes.
So I start talking to you guys, and he offers me a little thimble. And no, I'm not a brown liquor drinker. I thought it was straight whiskey, and he said, "Oh, come on, just a little try." I'm like, "No, I appreciate it." And some people walked up, and he poured me a thimble almost. I said, "Oh, all right, just a tiny," and it was almost full. And these 3 kids walked up. Well, kids, I say. I mean, they were adults, but to me, kids. And I said, well, "Here, give this one to them and pour me just a tiny." So he gives me just a little bit, and I sip it, and man, this smooth liquid goes down the back of my throat.
You didn't even make a face.
Nothing changed. No twitch, no blink, no nothing. And that impressed the heck out of me.
So I got you to have a little more.
No, I asked for a full sample. And I'm going to finish this story when we come back from break. Stick with us for the second segment of Rush Hour after this.
Rich is just a really, really, really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich, no. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're invited to join Business Connections with Anita every Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. here on 1180 a.m. KCKQ America Matters.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to the second segment of today's Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush, and I'm about to have some of this amazing, amazing libation. I am here with my special guests, Nicole Grimes and David Murphy, and they are they're sharing with me the Frankovich Manhattan, which has been around for how long?
It's been around since 1859.
Since the beginning.
Yes.
This was the first one, right?
Yes, this was the first one.
I thought so. Okay, so the history of this. Do you know the whole? Can you tell the story?
So Sam Frankovich's family started this recipe back in 1859, and they basically would make this, and then they would deliver it to neighboring farms, neighboring families, because back in those days, Reno was really just full of farms. And then when they started doing the Frankovich Holiday Nog, they would drink the Manhattans while making the Holiday Nog. And that was actually the official start of the Frankovich line. So this was a family recipe shared with family neighboring farms. And then it kind of spurted into something to where they decided to start bottling it and sharing it with the masses. And it's really just sharing one Reno family tradition with the rest of Reno, because Reno is really one big family. They say the biggest little city, but tell me you don't notice or recognize somebody in every single store you go to.
Close to it.
So when they first started, it was the Holiday Nog. When they got the basic permit, it was NV1.
Yes, it is
license.
the first one. I know it. I know. It's
so
incredible.
They started producing the Holiday Nog, and then this was what they always drank when they were making the Holiday Nog.
Aha.
Yes.
So they started producing the Manhattan.
Wow. And then mixing the two.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it's amazing.
It is. It is. And so, you know, I'm standing at the table, and I actually ask for another sample, which just blew me away. And because I hadn't had, I didn't get there till late as it was. And so my first priority was to get food. And so I did. I made the rounds of, and I spent
the food was so good.
I was going to say
good.
Chewy's. It was so good. We were tag teaming food lines.
That's awesome. Yeah, Chewy's was there. The gas lamp was there, which was amazing. Danny.
So good.
Oh, so good to see Danny. And, you know, they really did the Cajun with the aioli, and Mama was there, and I love the gas lamp. And, of course, Harrah's, and there was a lot of sweet stuff.
Yeah, at the gas lamp, that little donut hole.
Oh, they were gone by the time I got there.
So
yeah,
good.
I missed out on a lot.
Well, I got one, and I noticed that it disappeared off my plate, so I figured, Dave.
Well, I don't miss many meals. So when there's something good, I find it.
And so, you know, I stopped by Crystal Basin's table, and I had a sip of the Cougar Kool-Aid and a sip of the Merlot. I had a couple of that. And then I had stopped at the depot and had some of that beer.
The pineapple
IPA. And then stopped at your table. That's it. That's all I had all night. And because, things were practically winding down, really, by the time I got there. And so it was, I was able to really get the flavor of it, get the feel of it, get, the full experience. And it's an experience. This is an experience.
It really was. For all of us. Us being first timers at that event, we are so excited.
I'm talking about the Manhattan.
Oh, yes.
I'm talking about this drink. Oh, the Mardi Gras, no question.
It was so fun.
That is absolutely an experience, and I encourage everybody to go. That's Rotary's big fundraiser for the year, too. That's where they make most of their money.
There were so many people there that came up. Would you like to have a shot? I'm like, of course, but I have this in my freezer at home. There are so many people there that drink this already.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was so historical.
So we met a guy, John.
Yes.
And I invited him to the shop to come see how we do it. Mm-hmm. He showed up today. I gave him a little tour of the shop.
Yeah, the guy that was, I was there when you invited him.
I forget his last name, but what a great guy.
That's awesome.
No, we had a good time.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
That's awesome. Where's the shop located?
On 4th Street, right past Keystone, behind Crystal Ice.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep, it truly is a family affair. My son was in there putting on caps. My son is 4 years old.
4.
Yeah, my son's 4. This is a family affair. This is a family tradition. And that's really, truly, I think, what brings the experience that you were talking about to the table. And it really validates that, because this is a lot of family love between the Grimes family and the Frankovich family. And we couldn't be more proud to maintain tradition.
And I love that. I mean, that's the perfect word, is, maintaining it as a family asset, maintaining it, not as a commercial factory processed thing. I mean, this is truly, tasting this, this is something that needs to stay as it is. Honestly.
When you walk in, I have my 14-year-old daughter, my 11-year-old daughter in there, her 14-year-old niece, and they got the gowns on and the hair nets on, and they're working away.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to see.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I can feel the pride and the passion of you guys in your involvement in it. And I mean, when you are able to become involved in something that has been around since 1859, almost, prior to the history of Nevada's formation as a state.
Exactly. It is.
God,
it's cool.
That's unreal.
To be a part of it and to carry forth this family tradition, Sam Frankovich put in so much work and love into this project. And he really put forth a lot of his own family's history towards this product. So for us to take this product and run forward with it and taking the torch, and I guess being passed the torch, we couldn't be more, I guess, grateful for that opportunity. And we feel like the planets kind of aligned, and we were meant to be a part of this and take it to heights that were dreamt of in the beginning of this project.
And we have Sam in there on every bottling.
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
And I'm picking his, what's this? Let's do this. How do we do this? And the guy, he's just a wealth of knowledge. He's a great guy.
Well, knowledge is power, and when you have somebody with that much experience, not only with just life in general, but with this industry, you cannot go forward without, I guess, absorbing that knowledge.
Oh God, yeah, I would want to be like a sponge.
Absolutely. I think I voice recorded him on my cell phone when we first heard the background story.
So we
and
first
I don't
meet,
know if he's very happy about that, but I don't really care.
We first
I
meet
love
Sam, like our third, fourth meeting. She's recording and writing things down. He goes, "Why are you recording and writing these? You're never going to look or listen to that again." She goes, "No, Sam, I am.
Yep.
Wow, that's just amazing. I mean, when you were telling, the stories about how they would, deliver the nog and then this, I'm picturing like these sleighs and, the snow and the pine trees and I mean,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
What Reno used to look like back then. There's so much progression, which is fantastic. There's a lot of growth, especially going on in our local community. But you have to look back and really respect where we all started from. And the fact that this is a part of that tradition is so liberating and so amazing to be a part of.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, just drinking it evokes, fireplaces and hot toddies and stories and blankets and...
Oh yeah.
I have an old-fashioned streak in me. I grew up in the East Coast, and I just have this old person streak in me that misses some of that quaintness, and this really evokes that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
you
awesome.
think back in those days, their goals were major progression and growth to the point where we are today. But now that we are here today, now our goals are to maintain tradition. It's almost flipped
maintain and almost return to some of it. Yeah. Which that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
I love that.
There's value in all of it. In learning how maybe we went a little too far and to pull back a little bit. And
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's just like National Historical Societies preserving buildings around here in the community. You know, we've really kind of realized that we have progressed so much that maybe we should place a little bit more attention on maintaining some of those original values and traditions. And this is a part of those values and traditions. This is a family-owned, locally owned, operated company, and we want to preserve our recipe and this company just as much as we are starting to preserve some of our older buildings here in town and respecting that tradition.
History is important.
It really is.
You have to remember where you came from. And yeah, we can't just blow it all up and throw it all away for this, you know.
Right.
This isn't, you know, the be all end all. So, yeah, no, this is really, really fascinating way to learn about history and literally drink it in. You know,
it really is. You were ingesting history.
Yeah, and you feel it. I mean, you feel it, and it just goes down so smooth. I'm so impressed by this. It's just amazing. I really, really like it.
Well, we are so happy that you enjoy our product, and we are so excited that we have such a much larger following and support with our local community, and we only want to continue to grow.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad to share it with as much of my community as I can, at least make them aware of it, and you know, hopefully make it something they want to try. So
thank you so much.
We will be back for the second half of today's Rush Hour after these messages. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd with America Matters with Eddie Floyd, and I want to tell you something. I normally never do personal endorsements. I'm going to today because, as a lot of you know, I've been suffering from a knee operation, and I went finally, at the advice of my doctor, to Reno Cryotherapy. I have never in my life been so excited, and the results are phenomenal. 6490 South McCarran Boulevard, Building D, Suite 29. The phone number 689-8888. Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your home or getting evicted. The answer is the difference between receiving medical treatment or not. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against people based on their answer to this question. LGBT Americans have the right to say I do, but they don't have the same basic rights as everyone else. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the second half of today's Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush, and as I said at the top of the show, this is an interactive program, so give us a call, 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255, and that's toll-free from anywhere in the world, so we'll pick up the tab. And so give us a call, or just drop a comment in the watch party box there on the Facebook thing. I'm so old. I'm just like, the Facebook. That those
clicker.
kids are doing that tweet thingy.
The little blue icon deal.
Right. No, just you can message us and I can answer you there as well. So we've got Ivano Santameri, who is watching us there, and Johnny Gavigan has joined us on Facebook too. I haven't seen him in a long time. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hope he's out on the road there being safe. And he was a truck driver too. Dave, you were a truck driver.
Yes, I was.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about what you've done before this. What did you do prior to?
Well, I was a branch manager for 2 different financial institutions. Now I am a full-time mom, and I go to UNR. We also have a concrete company here locally, Concrete North, and that's a family-owned, family-run company as well. So we are kind of a jack of all trades.
So you don't do much. You have a lot of time on your hands.
I'm so bored, let me tell you.
Wow. So, gosh, and you have kids and everything.
Yes. I have 2 beautiful little boys, an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. And the 4-year-old, like I said earlier, was helping with the bottling while the 8-year-old was at school. And yeah, we keep ourselves busy. We don't know what boredom really looks like.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot of fun, and I couldn't be more blessed.
I was like that when I was your age, too. Had a lot going on and loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I couldn't be more grateful. I've definitely lucked out, and to go from banking to back into concrete, which I was trying to avoid at all costs, but I still ended back up in it.
Yeah.
To going into this industry, you really see what you're capable of and what you're good at, and I couldn't feel more fitted into the industry that we're in now.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, kind of the PR event.
Oh yeah. I am a professional talker, and it's sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing.
No, this is great, and I was really glad to meet you. And then Dave, what did you tell me about where you came from and what you did and all that stuff?
So I came from a little town in Harold, California, kind of out of Sacramento. We had a dairy. The last 13 years prior to this, I was a heavy equipment operator for the county, and I was a trainer. I have 3 kids, Colt, Peyton, and Brianna. They're all in the softball, baseball, basketball, wrestling, boxing.
Oh my goodness.
A little
Athletes.
bit of dance. Yeah. So we're a little busy.
A little bit. Wow. And so how long have you lived in the area now?
Just moved in.
Wow.
Spanish Springs, our house is being built right now. Should be done in May.
Wow, how awesome.
Yes.
And so you came over specifically to work with
Comstock.
With Comstock.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
awesome. That's awesome. And how did you know the Grimeses or the Frankoviches?
So I met the Grimes. My daughter plays softball with her niece, and we met them through them. They said, "Can we take a group picture together?" I go, "Well, who's that?" "Well, her name's Lacey." Next thing you know, we're all best friends.
How awesome. Meant to be is meant to be.
Absolutely.
It just
I tell my wife, it just keeps happening. God keeps putting one step in front of the other.
It absolutely does, and it's happening with people faster and faster now, and you just don't question it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because we are on an accelerated path, and it's time to go. It is go time, and that's cool. That is so cool.
Oh yeah. Well, my nickname for Dave is Uncle Brother, which
Right. I love that.
which happened to be quite a hit last night at
That was
the Mardi Gras event.
And so, how did you get involved with the Frankoviches?
So, my father's a native Nevadan here. I've been here for forever, and we were looking. My father and I've always wanted to do a business together and it was either coffee or alcohol. So
Much better choice.
I agree.
We have tons of coffee here.
I agree.
We have enough coffee.
I agree. Yeah, but
we like our drinking here. This is one of the drinkingest cities in the country.
Well, we're social people, and we're still very warm to other people, and we still mold relationships.
We have
here
a crawl
in this
once a
Reno.
month.
Oh yeah. I've been a part of most of them, unfortunately for my liver. But we came across Sam's company, and my father and I and our other business partner, Randy, he's a family friend, and he's more family. He's 100% family. And Dave and I, we really felt like this was our chance to maintain tradition, and not only maintain, but we're protecting tradition. We do not want anyone touching this. And we are a 6th generation Nevadan family. Yeah. So we came across Sam, and when we first met him, it was kindred spirits, and he loved what we wanted to do with it, and we loved him and his soul and his spirit and his fire behind his product, and not only just fire, but his pride.
Right.
So we're not just maintaining a tradition, we're maintaining that man's pride, and he deserves the utmost respect.
That's right.
And that's really kind of what we're about. So when we all met, we kind of molded into another dual family with the Frankoviches, and we go to the grill at Quail Corners all the time.
I do too.
Oh, their food is amazing.
Amazing food.
Steak sandwich.
I think that's where I'm having dinner tonight.
Oh man. Okay, we're coming.
Really?
We want. I'm hungry.
I haven't eaten anything all day.
But we came across the Frankoviches, and it's almost, I feel like, all of the planets are aligning to mold this indestructible group of people and families to make this successful, to make this move past any kind of barriers. Sam has already put so much heart and soul into this that we are really only being passed the torch, and we're taking it to heights that we could only dream of.
Oh, he's handing you his legacy with pride and saying, I trust you.
Well, and it's
And
not
Sam,
just
like I said before, he is there every step of the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sam and Mike,
yeah.
his brother-in-law, amazing people.
We are building a dynasty. We're not only just maintaining the Frankovich family dynasty, but we're building a Grimes family dynasty, a Murphy family dynasty, a Barnes family dynasty. Yes.
I mean, it's a shield. It's like
the gladiator,
yeah.
Yes.
It's like a Celtic shield with the symbols and
Yes.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. I love that.
yeah, it's a vision I'm getting.
Absolutely. And we're just so proud of where we're sitting right now and what we've been able to accomplish. We sponsored a NASCAR last year about this time. We have been a part of Night in the Country. We've been a part of, sitting here with you, some Vegas podcasts. We're looking at expanding to Chicago. There are just so many doors opening, and we could not.
We just got our permit for Chicago.
We just got our distributors.
That's awesome.
We are really seeing a
I'd love
lot
to
of
have you
movement.
sponsor Rush Hour. That'd be so cool.
We're open to any sponsorships. We're looking at getting this product out to the masses where it belongs, because we are doing the Reno community a favor by reminding them of the tradition that comes along with this beverage.
And I mean, that really needs to be showcased too.
Absolutely.
Like 1859 to
Yes.
2000.
We are
Frankovich,
Reno's own.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yes.
And this is gonna blow up.
You don't find a lot of that anymore.
No, and people are big on that, and big on memorializing that, like
Yes.
the Reno, the state's birthday. And get this, I was born to live here.
I believe that.
Reno was born May 9th, 1868. I was born May 9th, 1968.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
That is.
And actually, by the way, I'm a fellow Taurus. May 14th.
Yes, no wonder we get along so well.
Right?
And I didn't find that out. I've been trying to get here since 1992. And it took me a while. I moved my parents out here in 2002, and then it took me till finally 2012 when I permanently got here. And I didn't know that fact until I got here in 2012.
So I've got my in-laws, I got my brother-in-law, his wife, and I'm working on my parents right now.
To get here.
We'll get them But yeah, so I mean, it's just there's something about, certain people being here and aligning here and getting here, and stuff is happening.
Being in the business now, going down and getting permits and licensing, talking to the people. Everybody is so nice. In California, you go to a state building, they don't want you there.
Right.
Here, people are so friendly. It's a great place to live.
Well, and like I recognize probably about 60% of the people from last night's event at the Mardi Gras, the Reno Rotary Club event, and honestly, I can't even tell you where I know them from, but I'm pretty sure we just all make friends in the grocery store lines like Rayleigh's or Walmart, or we all just kind of know each other, and that's one thing that people are really starving for, and that's a lot of the reason why we have such an influx of people coming over. I think that we all need a little bit of that Reno love, and we need to kind of keep spreading that Reno love, set the stage.
Yeah, no, that's it, and it's just some amazing stuff is happening, and 2020 is a big.
Yes.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel
magical year.
It really is a huge tipping point. Huge tipping point. It's going to get a little chaotic. Things are going to look a little weird, and
Well, with chaos comes progression.
That's it. So
I always tell people, you can't make history by following all the rules. Right. So you just gotta kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
We follow all the rules.
Well, yeah.
Well, the legal, you follow legal.
Yes.
Company
standards.
Right. But, as far as living out loud, that's a different story.
Exactly.
We got to go to another break. We will be back for the fourth and final segment of today's Rush Hour with Kelly Rush, Nicole Grimes, and Dave Murphy. After these messages, stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Patterson. I'm the founder and owner of Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists. At Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists, we take a comprehensive approach to treating patients with chronic pain in the greater Reno, Tahoe area. We believe in the biopsychosocial model. This means we use multiple disciplines such as massage therapy, physical therapy, behavioral health, and medical treatments to treat your chronic pain. A plan of care is tailor-made for each individual patient. We always recommend conservative care first, but offer minimally invasive treatments when necessary. We are your one-stop shop. If it hurts, we can help. We pride ourselves in providing passionate care and making you feel welcome and understood. We are located in Reno and in Sparks, so give us a call to schedule a new patient consult at 284-8650. Again, that's 284-8650. Or visit our website at nvadvancedpain.com. We hope you choose Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists to be your center for injury rehabilitation. nvadvancedpain.com, 284-8650.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In '05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in '09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the fourth and final segment of today's Rush Hour. I'm Kelly Rush, and I've got with me Nicole Grimes and Dave Murphy of Comstock Distillers and the Frankovich Manhattan, which is just an amazing beverage. And why is it amazing? Because it's brown liquor and I'm drinking it.
Because it's made with love.
Damn
It
amazing.
is made with lots of love.
And it is so good. This is so good. And I don't. No, I've still got some.
Okay.
This is a sipper for me. This is something that I take my time with, and it's just so smooth and so warm, and it just goes down, and you feel it. This is one of those drinks that you just feel all the way down, and you can still taste it in your throat as it hits the bottom of your stomach, and I love that. I love that sensation because I don't drink anymore. Like drink. You know, I don't drink to get drunk. I get sick before I get drunk now because I'm on so many meds and I'm just so chronically ill. I'm straight up chronically ill. So it's not fun. Drinking is not fun for me anymore. That go out, woohoo, hey, party.
Right.
I drink for social reasons and comfort. And this is a social comfort drink, my favorite kind. And I am so grateful to you guys, really, for introducing me to this.
I'm so glad you enjoy it.
I mean, truly, this is just, and also for being able to drink a brown liquor. Finally, I feel like a grown-up.
It's kind of like when you get your first Costco card.
About the Manhattan.
No, I'm still on my mommy's Costco card. But no, seriously, like this is kind of like crossing a final bridge for me almost. I mean, I can smoke cigars, I can, drink beer. I've always my whole life been one of the guys because I'm an only child. So I had to be the son and the daughter, and I much prefer, drinking beer, watching football, and messing with cars to cooking, cleaning, and sewing, always. But I've never been able to drink brown liquor.
So would you say it's really smooth?
So smooth.
Absolutely. Well, and with all of the quality ingredients, like last night at the Mardi Gras event, we were talking to multiple of the consumers that were coming up to our booth, and they were already buyers of our product. But we like to remind people that we have only the top value of ingredients going into this bottle. So it costs a lot more to make a decent Manhattan than it does to get our version of our Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
It's consistent.
Because we do it by the mass.
Yes, we do it by the mass. So,
well, sure.
You have the most consistent product for the most consistent base of consumers. If you are a Manhattan drinker, then you know how much money it costs to get all of the ingredients to put into it.
But it's not about cost, it's value.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we're not talking about money here. We're not talking about price. We're talking about, and not even talking about the expense of the ingredients. We're talking about the quality, the value, and the elevation.
Yep.
And, I mean, just look at the bottle alone. This is a piece of art. This is, like you said, a statement piece that you put on your bar, and anybody over the age of 40 wants one of these, really. And if you don't, I don't know who you are.
Well, this bottle here is made in Italy. It's top quality. It's a beautiful bottle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm turning it this way because I want them to see the word Manhattan on the camera. There's cameras on both sides.
Oh,
yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they're 4K, so they're really clear. And I want them, I want it to see, just how gorgeous that is. And this is a liter. This is a liter bottle.
1 liter.
And then you have 750s too,
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
But I mean, honestly, I don't care what it costs. It's worth it. Just and I'm going to read this to you. Aged Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and I I've been to Kentucky. I've been to
What part of Kentucky were you at?
I've been to the Jack Daniels factory.
Ooh, nice.
Stuck my nose right into the sour mash.
Nice.
They have a thing where they can lift it up and you can smell it. It's disgusting. But it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, it just doesn't. Aged Kentucky's
Absolutely.
straight bourbon. I mean, that's where you get it. That's what. That's where it's done. That's where they know.
Well, that's where
They're
they take.
professionals.
That's where they take their pride in their product.
Yes.
I mean, I took a class. I research stuff. That's all I do. That's all I do. I don't have kids. I'm not married. I spend my time reading and researching and going down rabbit holes. And so when, my ex got me into this stuff and running down, this is what we did and this is what I looked into. But, straight bourbon whiskey, sweet vermouth and bitters, and then some cherry.
Talking about
and you can taste it.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the cool thing is I love being able to taste the ingredients and be able to parse it out. And
well, it's sweeter, and it's not so sweet that it ruins the taste of bourbon, but it's sweet enough for other people to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Anybody.
Yes, anybody to
whether
enjoy.
You are, the most connoisseur of Manhattans and
Yes.
bourbons, or the most amateur,
Absolutely.
like myself.
You're going to like it either way.
You're going to like it either way. And how I can tell that was, as I was standing there, Sparks Councilman Chris Dare comes bouncing up to the table.
Great guy.
Good friend of mine.
Absolutely.
And gets a sample. And he's very discriminating. Chris and his wife are very discriminating. And in a very good way. I mean,
Right.
they have great taste. They have great taste.
They have a very developed palate.
They do.
Yes.
And he takes his sample, and his eyes lit up, and he paused, and he let it, let it go over his tongue, and he put his little thimble out again.
He gave me his card.
And it gave.
He wants to
I
talk
introduced
with us.
I introduced you guys, and
that was awesome.
And he gave Dave his card and wanted to talk to him about his small business and Sparks and the whole 9 yards.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, and there were multiple groups of people that were coming back.
We had a lot of repeat customers last night, and that just kind of
Young.
It emphasizes.
I was really impressed
We
with
had some
how
of-
young.
Well, we had some ROTC UNR students, and that speaks huge to me because I am also a UNR student, and it made me kind of glow, I guess, a little bit because we were speaking to a demographic that we haven't really made a lot of segue with.
That would never try a Manhattan.
That would never try a Manhattan.
Well, they don't know what it is. It's not that they wouldn't try it; they just don't know what it is.
Well, we were able to
So this is an
educate
yes.
multiple age levels, multiple demographics about our product, and it is a very versatile product. It's a versatile beverage. There are many ways. We handed out cards that had recipes on the
What
backs
is one
of
of
the
your
cards.
favorite ways?
So I have two favorite recipes, actually three. So we have a Manhattan mimosa, which
Ooh,
is
I saw that.
orange bitters, fresh squeezed orange juice, Manhattan, and Prosecco. It is delicious.
I love Prosecco.
My cream soda and cherry grenadine
Yes.
cocktail is also a fan favorite. We also have a ginger in Manhattan, and that is a ginger ale with the Manhattan and a dash of cherry grenadine. And I will tell you that it is a delicious, light type of beverage. It is not heavy, and it pairs really, really well with almost every meal. If you do like a late lunch or you have a Mother's Day dinner or anything like that, these are all very light cocktails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice way to lighten it up if you want to have it
Yes.
as a daytime beverage or something like that, rather than with
Straight
like an
over the
evening
rocks.
meal over the
Yes.
rocks or as an aperitif or after after dinner.
Yes.
And I was really impressed with how young most of the people I saw that were coming back, and these were repeats that were coming back and looking for more samples. And I, for a recipe that is 161 years old and still, maintaining that incredible legacy, that incredible consistency, and, you too, I really credit you too for your personalities and your outreach and your ability to reach that broad spectrum. I saw people from senior
21-year-olds.
Well, from college seniors to, senior
seniors.
age.
I had 2 husbands come up to me. Said their wife said, we have to try this. And they were Manhattan drinkers. So I poured them the drink. And I told them, give me your honest opinion. Since you're Manhattan drinkers. Both of them loved it.
Yes.
I felt good right there. When they both loved it, that was amazing.
That's impressive. That's really impressive. And we are about to sign off in about 20 seconds or so, and I'm going to get my butt ready to go have dinner at the grill.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us. You're
absolutely,
amazing.
And we will absolutely do this again. And I would love to talk about having Rush Hour sponsored by the Frankovich Manhattan and Comstock Distillers.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So thank you guys really for introducing me to this and a whole new world of drinking. Dave Murphy, Nicole Grimes, Frankovich Manhattan, and Comstock Distillers, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And everyone, tune in. I will be back tomorrow with Dr. Dennis Patterson talking about spinal stenosis. Please tune in.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media Radio, heard worldwide on the web at americamatters.us and on KCKQ 1180 AM, Reno.
USA Radio News with John Hunt.
The World Health Organization reported that the number of new cases outside of China of the coronavirus have exceeded the number of new infections inside the country for the first time. The new number in China was 412, and the tally for the rest of the world was 459. The health organization director said the sudden increase in cases in Italy and the Republic of Korea are deeply concerning. The number now is up to over 81,000 people around the globe sickened by the coronavirus. With Brazil confirming the arrival of Latin America's first case, the virus now is in every continent but Antarctica. Columbia Gas of Massachusetts will be paying the largest criminal fine ever imposed for breaking a federal